Good morning. The Authentic You by Ralph Marston. There is a great power in truth. There is great power in authenticity. It can be comforting for a while to overlook or deny who you truly are in order to go along with the crowd. Yet, it is a false comfort that never does last. Life's most beautiful and fulfilling moments are the most sincere and authentic ones. When you are being yourself, that is when you are being your best. Why do you so quickly latch on to someone else's ideas of success, while at the same time ignoring your own authentic dreams? Why do you so easily dismiss your own instincts and intuitions? Others may claim to be experts in this field or that. Remember, though, that you are the expert when it comes to your own life. Listen to the longings of your heart. Pay attention to that little voice inside you. For that voice knows you well. It knows what you can accomplish, what brings you joy, and what things you most highly value. When something feels right, that's a reliable sign that it is. Choose to live each moment as the authentic person you are, and from those moments, you will create a much real and lasting richness.
So this morning I'm talking about living our true essence, and really that is about living an authentic life, being real. It's about being honest, not just with others, but with yourself. And I think that's probably one of the most difficult things that we do, right? Is sometimes be honest with ourselves. It's about living at that soul level, seeing and being from our God selves. The best way that we can live authentically is to see with the eyes of God, which means seeing the perfection in all things, no matter what it might look like on the outside, no matter how it appears to be. It's about focusing on what's right in our lives, knowing that whatever's happening, God is in charge, all is well. It's to live from our passion, to remain focused on fulfilling our life's purpose. So simply stated, it's all about remaining in that present moment awareness, being here right now. It's only when we are absolutely present that we can express who we truly are. Otherwise, we have that facade. Otherwise, we have that little bit of a wall up and not let people in. And here's the deal. The present moment is never fully accessible if you aren't present to it. That sounds kind of weird, doesn't it? But that's the truth. If you're not present to it, it's not going to be accessible to you. So the basic idea of living life authentically is about accepting life as it is, honoring all of it, expressing your deepest wants and desires and needs, not according to someone else, according to you. The reading that Nathan shared reminds us not to pretend to be someone we aren't. We don't need to follow behind or along with someone else's successes or their belief system. We always want to go deep within and find out who we are, what we know, what we believe, what we desire and want. We simply need to learn to trust what we know. And I think that's one of the more challenging aspects of being on a spiritual path, is trusting what we know, because we have learned throughout our lifetime that someone else knows better, right? So, when you can start trusting yourself, you can look at that and know that when you start living authentically, that's when you start taking yourself out of relationships or situations that are no longer serving your highest good. then you can honestly begin accepting and honoring and revealing your deepest desires and your deepest needs and wants, and have your own beliefs. Our desires are what allows us to be fully human. So it's through understanding and accepting our desires that we become fully present, that we become fully present to ourselves and our highest good. We begin connecting with both our humanity and with our divine essence, and can then see everyone else through those eyes, those God eyes. Being present means being conscious, being aware, being awake, and loving, appreciating life just as it is right here and right now. Our friend Anonymous wrote this: "It's not what we eat, but what we digest that makes us strong. Not what we gain, but what we save that makes us rich. Not what we read, but what we remember that makes us learned. And not what we profess, but what we practice that gives us integrity." I think those are some really wise words. In Buddhism, there is a community, a practice actually, consisting of monks and nuns and novices as well, and it's referred to as Sangha. One of the main goals of Sangha is to consistently practice that present moment awareness, and their goal is to achieve that high level of realization of life, of self, or enlightenment, to be one with their true essence, to be totally and completely connected with that. So they're devoted to practicing what they call the good way, the upright way, the knowledgeable or logical way, and the proper way. And because they know that they are the blessed one's disciples, their realization about themselves is this: they're worthy of gifts, they're worthy of hospitality, they're worthy of offerings, they're worthy of reverential salutation, worthy of all the gifts that life has to offer, because they recognize their essence. And isn't that the truth about all of us? We're all worthy of all of life gifts. And for the relatively short time that we are here on this planet, why would we have any other opinion of ourselves, of our God selves, than that? Why wouldn't we hold ourselves in the highest esteem? Why would we live to please someone else's idea of us? We deserve to be happy. We deserve to be filled with that love and that light that we talk about. We don't have to feel that shame or that guilt for not living up to someone else's expectations for us. As members, they are very dedicated to refrain from harming anybody. And they're present with that. Sometimes we harm people and don't realize it, you know? But when we're present, that's less apt to happen. And the other idea they have is to really help anybody they can at any time they can. Their behavior is exemplary for both leadership and for guidance, because they're encouraging that idea of living authentically, living from that essence of who they truly are. So living from our true essence means helping and supporting each other. And I think we do a really great job of that here. And the thing is, simply learning about these different teachings doesn't help. It's not enough unless we work toward that transformation. When we do that, when we are working with those teachings and bringing those into our daily life, guess what? We learn that deeper sense of compassion. And that's what we want to be, is that compassion. So if someone's rude to us, instead of responding with anger or with sarcasm or holding a grudge, we can practice compassion. That's what that moment is all about. It's practicing who we truly are. And as we focus on how we can help others, instead of how the situation will benefit us, we're developing more and more compassion. And that's what life is about. It's about living from our heart, from the level of our soul. Any emotional upset that we come across in our life will pass. It's kind of like the clouds, right? You just patiently watch them go by. If we can just stay in that present moment. If we make that effort again and again, some say 70 times 7, right? If we do that again and again to develop our love, our compassion, and our patience, we will make progress in this practice. And as we move toward that higher level of enlightenment, we are contributing not only to our own learning and growth, we are contributing to other people's learning and growth. We're all on a path together for a reason. Every person that we come across in our life is a lesson, either for us, for them, or for both of us. And as we practice this idea of compassion, what we're doing is contributing to that peace on earth that we all wish to see. The world is not going to change for us. From the very, very beginning of our spiritual journey, we know that any change has to come from within us. That's where it always begins. All of our interactions throughout our daily lives serve as mirrors reflecting back to us so we can draw upon it for that personal awareness, for personal growth. So let's live our life with patience and love and respect and compassion. Have those qualities reflected back to us on a daily basis. Thich Nhat Hanh reminds us, never blame. Never try to persuade using reason and arguments because they never lead to any positive effect. No argument, no reasoning, no blame, just understanding. If you understand and you show that you understand, you can love and the situation will change. Haven't you had that experience? When you send that love, when you send that compassion, when you can just be present with someone who maybe isn't being their kindest self, it's all in how you respond to it. And that can change and soften and lighten things up. The one reality that we can absolutely rely on, that we can know is true, is God, Spirit, Source. And to experience this essence in our daily life, we ultimately have to believe that we are worthy of living this life, that we are worthy of having everything we desire, want, and or need. And we want to do that with absolute passion, with absolute commitment. Deepak Chopra tells us in the book of Secrets that we are pure essence. And we already know that. This is what he goes on to say, though. I exist, I am aware, I create. And you are those same 3 qualities of essence that moves the entire universe. That's big, that's powerful. Our true essence, our God selves, that's who we really are at our soul level, at our core. And Chopra tells us that we can live from that soul level every day, moment by moment, when we incorporate 4 conditions in our life. The first one is contentment, which is about existing without fear and existing without doubt. Doubt's that constant reminder that there's no answer to the mystery of life, or that all answers turn out to be untrustworthy. Fear, he says, is that constant reminder that you can be hurt. And as long as either one of those beliefs exists, then we are not going to have that calm within. Second one, he says, is inquire. We have to question over and over and over again what is unreal. We question that until it completely disappears. So we look at something that seems reliable and trustworthy, and then if it betrays our trust, we go, okay, this isn't it, we toss it out. The next thing that asks for our trust, we examine it. If it proves unreliable, then we let that go too. So layer by layer, we keep inquiring until we reach something that is completely trustworthy, and then we know that's real. So inquiry is really, really important to us. 3 is self-awareness. It reminds us to always, always go within to find our answers. Turning inward is not something that happens necessarily in one single step, because he says for every challenge there are 2 solutions, both one inner and one outer. And only by working through every reason to look outward, then we're left with why we should look inward. And strength is the last one. And he reminds us strength is not a given. Strong people are not born differently than you are. That's important, because our inner strength grows from experience. It's the journey itself that's making us strong. As we move through life, as we move through challenges and obstacles. So my invitation for you this week is to be fearlessly authentic. Live from the essence of your soul. Reflect that authenticity every day to everyone who's around you. Do it because it fills your soul. Do it because it helps you fulfill your soul's purpose, and because it helps to keep you in balance, keeps you in present moment awareness. Allow yourself to be that beneficial presence in the world. Look for a moment of that contentment every single day. Look for hours of contentment every single day. Be content with being here, now, in the flow of life. The joy of creation literally lives in every cell of your being. We are made of that same stuff, that same essence, as angels, as stars, as the universe, as God itself. That's who you are. Inquire with yourself daily, who am I? Who am I? Understanding sometimes is a skill that needs to be invited in sometimes. So to understand who you truly are means returning again and again sometimes to that question, who am I? Who am I? And each time you ponder that question, you allow a little bit more truth to come in, to enter into your awareness. And then every day you find it's filled with the potential for expanding that awareness. It may feel as if there's only a little bit coming in at a time. However, over time, what you'll find is the accumulation results in tremendous growth. Be self-aware. Remember, the entire universe is within you. Whatever you need to know about anything is already within. You already have it. And when something happens, take your experience inward. Creation is set up to bring you information about your role as co-creator. Stay present. Be aware of the information life is sharing with you. We do that when we're present, when we're open, and when we're aware. Walking and staying steadfast to a spiritual path is not the easiest thing to do consistently. You can, however, utilize the strength you have within to meet whatever is coming your way. Be as committed and as passionate about your spirituality as you are about all the other absolutes in your life. Strength is the foundation for passion. We are all designed to survive and thrive, no matter how our experiences show up. So just for today, be strong in that knowledge, be firm in that knowledge, and remember who you are. Thank you for being here while I shared this truth as I understand it.